I got the devil gene in me.
Looked at like Tom Brady.
Oh God! Batman just killed a man. I have the key to your demise. Take care of this, you will.
My boy has sandals.
Stand here, I must.
I guess you didn't see that one coming.
Now your planet's fucking destroyed for your little mistake.
We need Megazord power now.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's fucking go, baby. Woo!
X is the first of a new generation of robots which contain an innovative new feature, the ability to think, feel, and make their own decisions. However, this ability could be very dangerous if X were to break the first rule of robotics. A human must never harm a human being. The results would be disastrous, and I fear that no force on Earth could stop him. Approximately 30 years will be required before we can safely confirm that his reliability. Unfortunately, I will not live to see that day, nor do I have anyone to carry on my work. Therefore, I have decided to seal him in this capsule, which will test his internal systems until his reliability has been confirmed. Please do not disturb the capsule until that time. X possesses great risk, and as well as great possibilities. I can only hope for the best. September 18th, 20XX. Thomas Light. And with that, everybody, welcome to my brand new playthrough hosted by yours truly, mrespnozax. And today, we're going to be taking a look at a all-time classic, one of my favorite games on the Super Nintendo, Mega Man X. Yes. Man, oh man, what is there to say about this beauty? Well, first off, before I even say anything about this game, who is Mega Man? You know, he's the super fighting robot that, fights robots who harm humans and everything like that and stuff. The series has been going on for quite a while, when recently we are getting a new one in Mega Man 12 and everything coming out next year and stuff in 2027 and everything. And in the 90s, when the Super Nintendo had came out and everything, Capcom decided to kind of do a new series because I feel like, everyone was tired of Mega Man. So they decided to pretty much, start something new and everything. Thus, we got Mega Man X, which in the story takes place 100 years after the classic series and everything. So, you know how, like, every Mega Man game, it always takes place in 20XX. Well, this takes place in 2100XX and everything, or 21XX, whatever, however you want to kind of describe it and everything like that and stuff. But yes, man, oh man, I remembered, seeing my brother play this game and everything when he had rented it. Well, I was like very intrigued. Like, I was like, whoa, this actually looks really cool and everything like that and stuff. And when I got my hands on it, man, oh man, I struggled and everything. Whew, man, yeah. But after playing it for more and more and more and everything, and I think it wasn't until probably like years later, I want to say like around 2011 or 2010 is when I kind of started playing this game again, got familiar with it and everything. And you ever like go back to a game and pretty like a game you struggled as a kid and everything, and then pretty much you go back to it years later and everything, like, hey, I'm gonna probably beat this game, and you start getting you're better at it and everything as an adult and everything. This was this game for me back in 2011 and everything. And ever since then, I've took a crack at the X series, did a whole marathon, and yeah, I think I also did a playthrough of it on my old channel and everything. That didn't go too well. I did do this for a collab channel that I used to be a part of before I started Planet X and everything. So you could kind of see, the X inspiration, you know what I mean? I named myself mrespnozax because of Mega Man X and everything. Because before, my channel was mrespnozax24. So I rebranded into mrespnozax because it's like Mega Man X is a rebranding and everything like that. It's a new name and everything. So yeah, you could kind of see the reason why I went with the X and everything. But anyway, here we go. The boss of the intro stage, which was a really big thing back then. It's like, whoa, an intro stage? This is really cool. Freaking the music too, dude. You can't talk about Mega Man X without talking about the music. The music's freaking great. Like, it's amazing. Like, and everything. It's really amazing. I know there's a mod in this. I guess somebody put like a heavy metal version of the soundtrack and everything, which is actually really cool. But yeah. You worthless piece of scrap metal. Did you think you could defeat me? Oh, what's that sound? What's that sound? Oh, it's my old buddy Zero. Ah, you chicken over here running away. I guess I'm not powerful enough to defeat him. X, you shouldn't expect to defeat him. He is designed to be a war machine. Remember, you have not reached your full power yet. If you use all the abilities you were designed with, you should become stronger. You may even become as powerful as I am. I'll scout ahead and collect as much information on Sigma's fortress so I can. I'll meet up with you when you get there. See you later. X, I know you can do it. And with that, here is the password, in case you want to put it in and everything like that and stuff. So like at the end of every stage, there's a password that you could enter just in case if you want to, continue on and everything. That was pretty much the save there. We didn't have save, but we have passwords back then. But anyway, here we go. In Mega Man tradition, there's 8 robot bosses, or in this case, Mavericks. Maverick bosses and everything like that and stuff. You could choose anyone and everything, but mind you, this one does it a lot more different. I'm not sure if any other Mega Man game has done it and everything, but depending on the order you go and everything, I will pretty much tell you guys, certain elements or perks when it comes to defeating what order you go to. But usually the best start, if you're a casual and everything like that, if you're barely new to this series, first Maverick boss I would go with is Chill Penguin. That's literally a first great start right there if you are new to the series and everything like that and everything. I will say this though, I'm gonna probably take some risk. I probably will choose some bosses that I'm like, whoa, you're gonna go for after that. I'm like, okay, we'll see how it goes and everything. But yeah, pretty much the Mega Man X series takes place 100 years after the classic series. Dr. Light before his passing has made a new robot known as a Reploid and everything. Reploids are pretty much robots who pretty much have free will of thinking. They could do whatever the heck they want and everything. There were certain Reploids that decided to use that for evil, pretty much. Decided, what? I'm gonna start killing some people and everything like that and everything. And yeah, so now pretty much this new Dr. Kane made, hold on real quick before we continue. So you've come. X, I gave you the ability to choose your own path in life. And I hope the world would allow you to choose a peaceful one. But now it seems that you are destined to fight. Because I thought the world might need a new champion. I have hidden capsules like this one. If you find and use them, you will be able to increase your powers beyond anything the world has ever known. Step into the capsule and receive an acceleration system to boost your speed. Good luck, X. And with that, we've pretty much got our first capsule of the game. Yes, throughout the whole game, there is capsules hidden and everything like that. And this one's a freebie. This one's just like, hey, here's a free thing. Here you go. We have the acceleration boots. Yes, we could pretty much accelerate now. We could pretty much dash and everything. So, yes. You don't have to get them and everything. But I do kind of recommend getting them. And I'll show you guys. Like, everything that's hidden here in this game, I will pretty much show you and everything like that. So, yes. There is some runs that, you know, it's a certain run that people like to use and everything like that. But me, I'm like, nah, I'm not that skillful. I got to get these upgrades and everything like that. But if you are trying to get the upgrades, I will show you. I already pretty much know where to pretty much go and everything like that and stuff. So, yes. There's some parts where you pretty much got to get after the fact. If you get, like, certain, like, you know, abilities and, you know, things called sub-weapons. And I'll pretty much show you guys how to get them. But anyway. But yes, so back to the story. You know, Dr. Kane decided to a doctor named Dr. Kane pretty much decided to, you know, make a police force known as Maverick Hunters to pretty much hunt down these Mavericks, and everything. So, Mega Man, he decided to pretty much put Mega Man X when he found him in the capsule. And yeah, and pretty much he was trained, you know, by Sigma and Zero and everything. But Sigma, you know, has decided to go Maverick because he thought, like, well, shit, freaking nah, like I could pretty much use this and pretty much become a like criminal mastermind and everything like that and stuff. And that's pretty much who we gotta stop and everything. So yes, but anyway, here we go, closing in on our first boss battle of the game. Well, depending on who you choose, and everything. It is none other than Chill Penguin. Yes, and I am literally low on health. Freaking that damn freaking Maverick with the freaking snowball freaking almost freaking got me and I died. Oh my god. Alright guys, we're back and here we go. Yep, there we go. Defeated Chill Penguin. Yes, we did it, everybody. Freaking love the soundtrack, dude. So freaking great. Oh man. But anyway, since we defeated Chill Penguin, and this is a tradition in Mega Man games and everything, you get their weapons. We have gotten Shotgun Ice. Yes, every Mega Man game, every Mega Man you play and everything, after defeating boss, you pretty much get their powers and everything. So yes. But anyway, all right, now number 2, and possibly the last Maverick boss we will be defeating for this episode, and everything like that. We're gonna good second one, like a good one you could pretty much choose as, you know, number 2 is Storm Eagle and everything like that. Yes, Storm Eagle. Ooh, freaking! This is one of my favorite songs in the game and everything like that. Storm Eagle stage is freaking. A lot of platforming, but freaking man, the music's great. The music's freaking great and everything. So yes. But anyway, yeah, so played this game, you know, freaking This is definitely one of my all-time favorite games and everything. I love Mega Man, I love Capcom and everything like that and stuff. You know, I wasn't really the best when it came to the classic series, but you know, when I played the X series, I definitely fell in love. That's pretty much the reason why I fell in love with Mega Man and everything like that. And stuff was pretty much through the X series and everything. Freaking, I played every single game and everything like that, including the bad ones that came like right after 5 and everything, and stuff. But yeah, dude, freaking, I just enjoy the series. I enjoy just every single one. The only game that I probably never played, and it was pretty much more of a remake, is Maverick Hunter X for the PSP. Yeah, I never played that game. I heard things about it, like I've seen gameplay and everything like that and stuff. I mean, I think eventually one of these days I'll probably do like a blind playthrough of, and stuff. It's just the story with that one, it was only for the PSP, which is pretty much PlayStation Portable. At the time, it was pretty much a portable version of the PlayStation and everything, kind of like the Game Boy and everything. And pretty much, you know, I've never ever in my lifetime have never owned the PSP, and everything like that. I came close to one at a swap-meet, only to figure out that it had water damage, and everything. So yeah, but anyway, we picked up our sub tank, and everything. And these sub tanks, if you have already full health, you can still pick up the health orbs, and everything, to pretty much as a reserve and everything. And when that sub tank is filled up, you can pretty much replenish your health that way and everything. That's what sub tanks are, and everything. And that's something I forgot to talk about too. At the beginning of the stage, we picked up something called a heart tank. I'm sorry if I'm getting mixed up here. At the beginning of the stage, we picked up a heart tank, which pretty much increases our health and everything. There are a total of 4 sub tanks and a total of 8 heart tanks and everything, which are pretty much hidden around here throughout the game and everything. There are a couple freebies here and there and everything, but there are some that are pretty much hidden. And pretty much I will show you guys where pretty much everything is at and stuff. So yeah, but anyway, yeah, I came close to one years ago, probably like back in 2009, 2010, only to figure out that it had water damage and everything, and pretty much I ended up getting my money back after. I was like, dude, what the fuck, why would you sell me this? Why would you even try to sell something like this if it had water damage and stuff? I was kind of disappointed and everything. And literally, once I got this laptop that I currently use, that's pretty much one of the first few emulators that I got were the PlayStation Portable emulator and everything. Started booting up the PlayStation Portable stuff, and yeah. This capsule contains an enhancement for your helmet, which will allow you to break some ceilings with a headbutt. And thus, we pretty much got our helmet upgrade, which pretty much allows us to pretty much break some blocks, and everything like that. So yes, yep, here it is. So now we got 2, so 2 more to go pretty much and everything. So yeah, and again, I'll pretty much show off where everything is at and everything. So yes, but anyway, so yeah, it started, you know, you saw me do a playthrough of the Castlevania Rondo of Blood remake. So started, you know, what other PSP games are out there, and you know, like, damn, I really missed out because, again, mind you, I was a Sega fanboy, so the only portable I had was the only thing I had was the Game Boy, and everything. Even though everyone around my school had the DS already, they had the PlayStation Portable, I still had my Game Boy and everything. And the only thing I would play in that was pretty much Pokemon and, you know, the Mario Luigi games and everything, and pretty much one of the Yu-Gi-Oh games as well and everything. And yeah, that's pretty much like I still stuck with the Game Boy and everything like that and stuff. Again, this was like around the Great Recession, so you know, my parents couldn't really afford you know, any of the newer consoles and everything like that and stuff. So yeah, but anyway, here we go, facing off against Storm Eagle. Yeah, buddy. Again, this is one of the few bosses that I could easily defeat with just the X Buster, and everything like that and stuff. And be careful, it'll pretty much Storm Eagle will pretty much let out his little babies at you and everything. he'll swoop in and try to, you know, get you and everything like that. You want to be very, very careful and stuff. You can still attack him while he's like during this phase. You just gotta, you know, really be really careful not to get hit and everything. So yeah. But anyway, like I mentioned, we grabbed Chill Penguin's weapon, which is a shotgun knife and everything. And in pretty much Mega Man fashion, each robot boss or Maverick boss has their own weaknesses and everything, depending on what weapon you have grabbed and everything like that. And I pretty much will show off that in the next episode and everything. I'm literally almost dying to Storm Eagle. The frickin' Storm Eagle. Freaking that brain scratch commentary video. That shit still gets me. I still could. Every time I see somebody die to Storm Eagle, I'll be like, you died to Storm Eagle. Oh my god. Yep. Alright. Storm Eagle defeated. Yeah. Freaking, this freaking stage is amazing, dude. Freaking, look at those clouds. Look at those clouds. But anyway, now that we've defeated Storm Eagle, we get his weapon, known as Storm Tornado. Yes. Freaking one of my all-time, literally my all-time favorite weapon in this game is this one, man. It's freaking great. But anyway, here is the password, you know, just in case, you know, if you guys want to continue on and everything. So yeah. But anyway, I will pretty much do it for this episode, everybody. Stay tuned for look forward to this new playthrough and everything like that. It's gonna be an amazing one, depending on how I play. Just letting you guys know, you know, I'm not the best when it comes to this game. So, you know, if you guys see me start to do bad, that's on my bad and everything like that. So yeah. But anyway, that will pretty much do it, everybody. This has been mrespnozax saying good night, good morning, good day for the times of watching this video, and I will see you guys on the next one. All right, everyone. Laters.